Buffalo, Erie County, and Western New York for the weekend. Sir?
I'm here with Buffalo Public Works Commissioner Nate Marton to provide an update on the storm that will hit Buffalo this weekend. The storm is expected to hit in the morning hours of Saturday, intensifying into Saturday afternoon and going right through early right through early Monday morning. This will not be a storm like the storms we experienced in 2023. It will not be like the historic November snow storm. It will not be like the December 2023 blizzard, but we are asking members of the community to take the storm seriously. This will be the first serious storm of our winter season. The city has been preparing internally. Our new emergency manager has been meeting with the various city departments, commissioners of public works, police, fire, director of the Division of Citizen Services, commissioner of community services, to make sure that the city's snow plan will be in full effect for this storm. We have also been in close communication with Erie County government and the state of New York. That communication has been extensive and ongoing. We are prepared for the storm in the city of Buffalo. We are preparing for the worst, but hoping for the best. And this will not be the type of storm that we experienced in 2023 in November or December. Now I'm going to ask Commissioner Nate Marton to come in and give you more detail.
Thank you, Mayor. As the Mayor said, this is the first significant snowfall of our winter season, so we've been tracking it for days, as you've been, as all of our residents have been. So, from our standpoint, making sure that we're ready from an equipment standpoint, from a planning standpoint. This is a Tier 1, Tier 2 snowfall event, depending on where that band sits and stays across the city, kind of per our snow plan. So preparations from our standpoint are about clearing roadways across the city. So a high wind event tomorrow with a little bit of snow, as we all are hearing the forecast. That may change, but a wind event. So our parks and forestry teams are prepared for any kind of tree and wind damage. In preparation of that, we're going to be closing parks today at the end of the day, 3:30 at the end of an afternoon, in case there is any lakeshore flooding that might occur.
Waterfront parks.
Or waterfront parks, sorry, waterfront parks is what I just said. So our waterfront parks, in case there is that water influx from the Lake Sache that is anticipated with these high winds, and those will be closed until further notice. It'll transition to a snow event, lake effect event, so some blowing snow Saturday night and definitely into Sunday, some heavier snow amounts. So we're prepared in the city from anywhere from 1 to 2 feet, depending on, again, where that band rides and moves and oscillates and sits potentially. So our standpoint, working with our state partners in connection with them, our county partners and private contractors. We've got some private contractors ready to mobilize as needed. We'll pre-position some of those, I think, as we get close with our fire and police departments, as we've talked about. So we've had those conversations internally. And from an emergency response standpoint, our Emergency Operations Center will be activated tomorrow at noon, so we'll be prepared to deal with any emergencies out of the EOC. So with that, Mayor?
We'll open up to any questions that you have on the storm.
How's the new process gone with the new folks in place, the new managers in place?
The new process is going well with the emergency manager and the fleet manager working with our other departments and working with our other commissioners. Fortunately, they have been here for some time, so they have been introduced to our systems over time. This is our first significant snowfall potentially of the winter season. So the system is working very well. They have been working with their colleagues for several months now, so it will be a smooth transition.
Commissioner GPS, that system, it's been a work in progress. Is that ready to go?
Yeah.
Confident in that?
Confident in that. So the GPS is functional. It is showing tracking. It's live now. So we've got that. That system is operational. So, and that, again, that gives the insight of kind of where we've been over the past 24 hours in the city.
How big of a help is that for you when that is working correctly?
You know, from our standpoint, I think we have an internal GPS that has the technical data that we use from an operational standpoint. The GPS that the public sees, I think, is really important from a communication sharing, kind of where we're at, how we're handling the city, what progress we're making, and it'll kind of be dictated, the response to that is dictated where the snow is going to be ultimately. So we think it's a great transparency and to just show where we are.
Well, let me speak to that. But in terms of actually getting the plowing done, getting the work done, it's the internal system, the internal GPS system that the public wants to make sure is working. That system has always worked very well. Our managers know where plows are at all times, the work that's being done in the field at all times, and that is really the critical element of the system. The external system that provides transparency, we think that's important from a communications standpoint, which is why we proposed it, but actually to get the work done and to know where our trucks are and have been, the internal GPS system is the critical system for us.
First major snow, potentially major snow event of this year. What can we get across to our viewers, to the community, to help out? What reminders can we give to them to sort of help in the regards of, snow plowing and those things there?
We need the community to follow the alternate parking regulations, to move their vehicles as posted in the neighborhoods. We need them to follow any messages that are being put out by the city, county, and state. While this is not expected to be a blizzard-type storm, it will be the first snowfall that is significant. Potentially, people should take that seriously. If people have elderly family members that need assistance, disabled family members that need assistance, please consider bringing those family members to your home so you don't have to be out in storm conditions seeing about family members. If there is shopping and groceries and things that people would like to stockpile, tonight is the night to do it. Tonight we will see heavy winds. Those winds will pick up as it gets later in the day. Tomorrow we will begin to get snowfall, potentially in the morning, going into the afternoon, intensifying as the day goes on. And Sunday, Bill's Victory Sunday, we anticipate people from the city and region going to the game. We want people to take enough time to drive carefully and safely, and to know that the city is prepared for this storm. Again, we are preparing for the worst. We're hoping for the best, and we're going to use this as an opportunity to really test our new snow plan.
The tiered system, what goes into making those determinations?
Commissioner?
Yep, and then what are some of the general instances that you'll see in the tiers where it's going to be in?
Yeah, the mutual aid, so the first question, like how does the tier come in? It's really about the amount of snowfall. So it's either a rate per day or a total amount over the course of a multi-day event is really what triggers a 1 or 2 or 3. So this seems like it's going to be potentially a 2, right? A general snowfall around the city and then larger in one part of the city. So the southern part of the city is where we're seeing it projected now. We have to be prepared for an entire city coverage. So we're working on a full contingency for that as well. But in terms of what we'll see, that mutual connection with state and county is what we go to as well. So we've been on dialogue with them all morning. Our private contractors come to the table as well when those are needed. So that extra reach of extra equipment that we've got to be able to hit those needs. So it's going to be snowy and blowy for some period of time. So equipment can't help that. So as the mayor said, I think urge safety and caution if you're out and about. If it's really snowy, those conditions, it's really blowing, stay in if you don't have to go out, certainly. But we'll be able to, when those conditions settle down, and through it, of course, we'll be working hard to clear the streets.
In the event that we do lose power in some parts. What's your advice to folks as far as being safe out there if they need to go somewhere else to stay warm?
Yeah, so the city is prepared to have our emergency shelters open should power go out in those areas. We're making those preparations now as outlined in the plan, so those are in place. So those are an outlet for everybody, but from your own standpoint, be safe and take care of yourself first, right? So don't go out in the worst conditions if you can help it. We saw that might not be the best, at the end of the day.
And let me comment on that. One of the things that we learned from the storms of 2023 is that it is safer to shelter at home. And we know that a lot of people have made preparations to be able to do that. So, have flashlights with working batteries, have candles, have extra blankets. So in the event that power goes out, you can shelter at home. Have foods that you can eat that you don't need to prepare using the stove or having, or needing to have electricity. So the preparation that we've seen members of the community take, as well as city, state, and county take, critically important. And again, if people feel like they are going to need something for this weekend, please try to obtain those items on Friday, today.
Anyone else? Commissioner Martin, have you mentioned about the video messaging?
Oh, yeah, no, I didn't. So, communicating is one of the hallmarks that we talked about, making sure we're communicating thoroughly. So, this event obviously, but communication that we've been doing all week, even with the windstorm earlier. Buff alerts as well have been pretty constant. So we'll continue to do that starting today, but throughout the weekend. We've got video message boards that we placed in certain parts of the city. Again, those another element to help communicate for those who are driving and maybe not watching the media coverage as well. So we're doing the things that we can. If you are not signed up for Buff Alert, we encourage you to sign up. Those messages come out from us directly and continually throughout events, and certainly we'll be using that during this event.
And will you mention working with the county and the state on the iPause message?
Yeah, certainly. So in coordination with the county and state officials, using that iPod system, that the ability to ping a phone or deliver a message to a phone automatically is an option that we are working with them. So that'll be a joint communication effort if it's deemed necessary.
All right, everybody good? Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.